I think we're live. Oh my God, hi you guys. I have a mask on because I'm visiting with Herbie, and he's 92. He's been living in California since he's 85. It's very dark on you, Herbie. We should get a lamp. It's too dark. It's too dark. We're live and we're not, hold on. Can you sit right here?
I have to get warmer.
Okay, go get warmer and I'll keep everybody occupied. Okay? All right, you guys, I could take this off for a sec. Okay, so Herbie, you guys know and love Herbie. At 85, he moved to California. My mom was not well and she passed. And in trying to make her better, I did the Gerson protocol. Herbie ate raw vegan food. And then when she passed, he moved to California. And he's been here 6.5 years, and because of COVID, he doesn't go out enough. He was really social. He was always going here and there, and now he's home a lot. And so Herbie is going to Florida to live with his son Steven and Steven's wife Tanya. You guys met Tanya. We did a decluttering video, and so Herbie's packed up. Well, his apartment is not. I'm going to be left with a lot to do after he goes, but I'll have help. In any case, Herbie is going for a new adventure in Boca Raton, Florida, and so we thought we'd make a little last video together. Well, we'll film Herbie, and he'll tell you some of his thoughts. So I'm waiting for him to put on a sweater. We're sitting outside because it was just so dark inside. And I have to wear my little mask when he's around, so I'm gonna put it back on. I'm sorry this wasn't more planned, but it's late at night and we're taking him, Jade and I are taking him to the airport tomorrow. Oh my God, this is hilarious. I'm so not prepared, but I thought, you know what? You guys want to see Herbie. I figure we can do some share screen for Facebook. We made a cute video. He made a cute video for Facebook. So yeah, he's gonna be in Florida and I'm probably gonna cry. I know. But we can somehow figure out video because I'm sure Steven and Tanya are technologically more advanced than Herbie is. So here he comes. I'm gonna put my mask on. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. This is like a renegade video. Right? Okay, he's all warm now. Let me switch the here. Okay, there's Herbie. It's not that bright on you. Can you sit here? Sit there. The light will be on you. Sorry, it's not that comfortable, but this is important. Everybody wants to know how you are. All right.
Oh, let me get a cushion.
Okay, he's going to get a cushion. That's okay. They're saying bless you, I love you. I don't have my glasses on, but I think that's Robin. Okay, he's got his cushion. All right, what you got, Herbie?
Oh, there.
Yeah. Okay, so you want me to ask you a question? You could talk about whatever you want.
I'm making I'm going from heaven. And I'm going to paradise. My son has rented a home in a gated community, and it's a one family. I'll have my own private bedroom. I'll have my own laboratory. I'll have my little office space, and the house has a pool in its backyard. So and my daughter-in-law is a nurse, an RN, and so I'll be a family that's 24/7 love.
Yes.
And it comes at the right time because I wouldn't have left California if the world didn't turn upside down, but it's affected a lot of people. I didn't have cabin fever, but I have a lot to be grateful about, but it just gets very quiet.
Yeah.
And I do socialize by the phone and FaceTime, but it's not the same when you have lunch with people, or you have dinners with them, or you go to a documentary movie, or you go to religious services, or you go to a book club. I mean, it all of a sudden, where I was always had one or two wonderful things to do, or more each week. Now all of a sudden, it's locked up.
Yeah, you were very active. You had more than 2 things a week, and as
Well,
yeah.
it's a quest for knowledge, and more I find that as each day went on, there's more to be grateful about.
Yeah.
And certainly, that's I don't know how many other people can feel that way, but a big part of it is having a born again body, and from the neck up, I'm a young man. My memory's gotten better, but from here down, I'm a senior.
Right.
But I'm coping very, very well. And as I say, I was having a ball. I was in a very, very loving community with some very talented people, and one of them, for example, a couple months ago, was a guest on Dr. Oz's TV program nationally.
And Denise, both of you, the 2 ladies that love you, Denise and True, both texted me tonight to send you extra love, and they want your address. True wants your address so she could send you a card, and we're gonna send you mail, and we'll be able to do some kind of screen share. I mean, you and I FaceTime all the time, but maybe we'll be able to screen share and do YouTube video. I think we'll do that, and I'll come to Florida. And your time here, 6.5 years. You were here 6.5 years. What did you garner from it? What was it from moving from being 85 in New Jersey to now? It's like,
Well, from 2013 in October is when I came, and it'll be 7 years will be in October. So it's just been outstanding in the sense of, especially that Dara, you are what you eat, and I got at that time a very strict 80-90% organic vegan raw, and otherwise I had cooked vegetables.
right.
So now once in a while I love a California pizza where they make it with a cauliflower grain, and put goat cheese a little on it.
Your diet's not as strict as it used to be, but you're happy.
Yeah, once a month kind of thing, and and once in a while, well, not now. Now with my homemade people, just overabundance of organic food.
Yeah.
Still raw most of the time, and
Oh yeah, they make you beautiful food. Everybody's saying you are so loved, and God bless you, Herbie. You're an inspiration to all. You are a lovely soul. That's so sweet, Regina. And they're asking, things are, more things open in Florida than California. I don't think you'll be going. And everyone is feeling isolated. Everyone. Not just, but because you're going to be 93, and because you watch the news, you're taking extra precautions to not be out and about. So it really doesn't matter what state you're in, right?
Right.
Yeah. So everybody loves you.
Well, it's living here is, I've been, and especially once in a while, I make a video with Dara, and I get to meet a lot of people over the internet, and it's a loving, nice, super community.
Yeah, and you know a lot of people on the East Coast who are gonna, do drive-bys and sit out by the pool, and everybody's messaging me that they want your address and they want to visit from a safe distance, of course. So you are so loved here or there, and both places. So, um, so
You want
we have
you
someone.
want me to give my address?
Yeah, definitely. Everybody can write you, but you can
I'm
get it.
I'm in Boca Raton in Florida. My address is 11368 Boca Woods Lane in Boca Raton and in Florida, and it's 33428.
Oh, good. Now I have it, and everybody has it,
And,
so that no.
and keep in mind, if you take the last three of the street address, the 368,
Mm-hmm.
if you add 60 to it, you get the last three in the zip, 428.
Oh, that's so cute. Well, somebody here says, I saw Herbie at Cafe Gratitude one night last fall, but I was too shy to say hi. I wish I had. You're like a rock star. You're like a movie star. Yeah, Herbie, just so you know, you guys, he's a Leo and he loves you all. And Herbie's the kind of person that you could show up at his door, surprise, and at 11 o'clock at night, and he'll be like, hey. I used to say, you want to go out when I was younger, and I would be like, let's go out. And he'd be always ready. Okay, give me 10 minutes. So he's such a movie star, such a Leo, such a just warm, open personality, loves people. So you guys can send mail, and we don't have to worry about any stalking because it's a gated community. So you could, I'm laughing and shaking. So send mail. I think he'll be very happy. I'm going to do that. Herbie's a bright light. Happy birthday, Herbie, on the 16th?
August 14th.
14th. August 14th, 93 years young.
Well,
Fabulous.
listen, certainly the one who made that turning point for me was in terms of something happening in terms of ending of a journey, and then I became through DARA'S menu choices and recommendation about organic raw eating, and I felt good right away, but it took time, and in fact 6 months that my arthritis disappeared and my spinal stenosis, and originally when I started to feel better, I did a stupid thing.
Do you remember that? I told you before, just to preface this, I said, look, I have a feeling you're going to feel like Superman. Like you're going to want to go off of all these medications that I see, but don't do it without a doctor, okay? So I was busy taking care of mommy. I was making 4 meals a day. I was taking care of the dogs. I was decluttering the house, shopping for food. And then I hear you like in the bathroom. I'm like, oh my God, this is detoxifying him. And I'm like, just don't go off the medication. And then what'd you do, Herbie? You went off the medication, and then I get a text or a phone call. I'm out for a walk with Sean. I went for my evening walk or run, and I get a phone call. Come back, it's an emergency. And I thought it was mommy, and you're like, I have to go to the hospital. And we're laughing now, but you were in the emergency room, and I was bringing you. I remember saying to the doctor in the emergency room, I was trying to explain the way you're eating, and he was looking at me like I had 5 heads. He's like, I don't care how he's eating, and it was something. And you were, do you remember? Oh my gosh! So go ahead, you tell it.
Well, I tried to make it a fun time.
You did.
You
did. You had all the nurses laughing, and you were having a blast.
Well, it was a party.
Oh my God.
And then, of course, such a super effort on, she rest in peace, on mother's part.
She came to the hospital.
She went and got into a wheelchair, came to visit me.
She was actually, we got, with the food, we got her better enough to want to put makeup on and come see you. And she hadn't before that. She wasn't well enough to do that, but we actually thought she was getting better because she really rallied when she came to see you. Yeah,
No, I know it's a great effort on her part.
yeah.
And it's a great sign of her love for me, and certainly, I hope I reciprocated.
You did. You took good care of her. Yeah, you did, Herbie. Everybody wishes they could give you a big hug and happy birthday, and love takes
Well,
time.
what do they call it? A virtual hug, and and I feel your good wishes, and of course I love to say the best is still yet to come.
You always say that every time I leave that gate over there. I hear hollered out, "The best is yet to come." Yeah.
Well, listen, it's on Sinatra's tombstone, and
I didn't realize that.
it certainly it's a very positive kind of feeling, and it's sort of well, today is good, but hey, the best is yet to come. Tomorrow's going to be better.
Yeah. Yeah. You are really the most grateful person I've ever met.
Well, there's been turning points in my life that very unusual, and that wasn't supposed to happen, but it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them happened to be tragedies in a sense, and yet I came out smelling like a rose.
Yeah.
Same way that I developed an infected blister on my right foot, which because of my level of threshold of pain, I didn't feel until it was very, very infected, and I don't think I got the proper treatment. But whatever happened, eventually I ended up with that they had to do a operation, a skin graft, and I was finally discharged by a wound care specialist just a month and a half ago.
Yeah, isn't that great timing? You couldn't have gone anywhere because that dressing.
And plus, because I had excellent long-term care, and because there's certain things I needed help on, that I was able to have full-time help 12 hours a day from the insurance. Mm-hmm. And it only cost me $7 a day.
That's amazing. And you got the two most lovely people. I mean, Arlene cried. She was crying today leaving you. And her life has improved since knowing you because she's lost weight. She's eating well. She wants to eat like Herbie. I mean, what's sweet. You treated them well and they treated you so well. And it's just very beautiful.
Well, I treated her like a human being, which she is. And then we grew on each other.
Yeah, you did.
And she became family, and yet here's a woman who was washing my back when I showered, and helped dry me off. I had to have a special elastic put over my right foot from where the
but you had to before COVID happened, you were home, not moving around for a month to heal your leg. And it's interesting because you couldn't, before that with your leg, it had to be dressed every day. So you really weren't able to go around and about. But now you're all healed. Your leg is healed. And you can.
And then on my 81st birthday in California.
91.
Yeah, well, I was 91. The California motor vehicle is you don't have to take a driving test, but you have to take the written test all over again. And at the time, I was only doing 100 to 125 miles a month.
Yeah.
And I noticed that my reaction time was slowing just a little. Nothing bad happened, no accidents, and I felt that it'd be better for me to give up driving because my homemade people would drive, or Uber, or a relative. It depended, and somehow all of a sudden it's not so bad not having to bother with the car.
Yeah, yeah. And so we have a moral that we have to tie up from earlier. So when you went raw vegan and you felt like Superman and you went off your medication, would you tell people to not do that?
Right.
Yeah, on their own.
Well, no,
Yeah.
it was very short-sighted and ignorance on my part, because I became so enthused by what was happening to my body that I said, who needs medicines?
And you're right. Who needs it? But you got to wean. Yeah.
And fortunately, I think, except for my eye drops, I only take 3 really meds for my body.
That's amazing. Someone just gave you lyrics to Robin did. You think you've flown before, but baby, you ain't left the ground. The best is yet to come. Yeah. Yeah, we should be dancing. We should be dancing. We should have music on and dancing, but we're going to dance in Florida. Herbie's moving to an area that I lived in for 10 years. I know it well, and
Well,
I'm happy to go.
Of blessed memory, when I first she would
For dancing?
She'd love to go sometimes in New York, sometimes in Jersey, to go dancing. And
She was my dance teacher when I was, from when I was 13. That's funny.
And she taught me how to throw her out, and I would do nothing but wiggle a little. And people would think, she was really an excellent dancer. And they thought, for a slight few seconds, I might have been a professional, but...
Well, Herbie, you know what? You were a really good dancer. Like, you come from an era where a man knows how to lead. You're a very good leading dancer. That that is something that is missing. That kind of dancing and being strong and leading someone. I always love to dance with you. Always.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
Yeah, you're a great dancer.
My foot's still, I'm walking without a cane, without a walker, as long as it's not a very long distance, but
it's not the same.
It doesn't have the strength yet.
But guess what? I think the humidity is going to be really good for your bones. The humidity in Florida is fantastic for your health. So I think your health's going to improve. I'm going to see that when I come visit.
Okay, well, listen, there's always going to be a big welcome for you to come to Florida. Don't be surprised if you're met by a rousing band.
A band. Do you remember what I said to you when you stopped your medication and landed yourself in the hospital? And I was like, I'm like, do you remember? It was so funny because here I was sharing on YouTube about how you were eating. And then can you imagine if you landed in the hospital? I was like, this is not your time to go. Like, if you do that, that's really bad because I just fed you raw vegan food. But that's the same way I feel now. Like, this is not your time. You have a lot of good years to, like, get sun, see people, feel loved. I see it. So you just have to know that. Turn off the news and know that you're well and healthy. You're good. Your immune system is good. You have a strong will.
Well, I find out that little simple things that you have a hard chore and an easy chore, and you take care of the hard chore first.
That's smart.
And psychologically, at least in my mind, it makes the easy one so it's
like nothing.
Child's play.
That's good. What other advice do you have to everybody? Do you have any advice?
Well, advice, there's certain basics I certainly believe I've learned that you are what you eat.
Yeah.
And certainly, within reason, each person could be maybe a little different, but the body needs rest, and then the body needs exercise. And I used to joke and say, exercise, yeah, sure, I jump to conclusions.
Yeah.
But,
Da da da.
but no, it's I was very fortunate when I first came to California, because I retired really when I was 80. I had an insurance office in New Jersey, and I enjoyed myself, and it wasn't work. You know, I was seeing people, and in fact, a couple of years I had great years. I forget who I was married to at the time, which wife of blessed memory. But I told him I think I'm overpaid on that. But I just at that time then I started to do a lot of reading. I found time, and it's amazing. And there's three books on women that I read that I wish I would have read much earlier, that helped shape a much different opinion and respect for the female person, the vast majority of them, in terms of their capacity for love, whether they have a child or not, but their capacity to have a child. And the three books, one was on Hedy Lamarr, and one was on Diane Keaton, the other one was on Shirley MacLaine, and each one has something different, and yet each were very, very talented, and gave something in terms of experience and in life as to how I, as a male, could learn to be more respectful, and in terms of a woman's intuition, or tenderness, or all the good things, and sensitivity, and as well as I got to understand that women, when they have a friend, they talk about everything.
Yeah.
Males touch on three subjects. They talk about sports, they talk about politics, they talk about sex. And most men, you know, you can't paint everyone with the same brush, and different personalities, but in general, if you want to read one of the great male books, there's such a unique life, and in terms of what he did at all stages of his life, and there's just so many and so talented, and some of the movies he made that were great. He came of age, and he became a great philanthropist. That when he discovered with the author who wrote Paul and I, they were very, very friendly. I think his name is Hotchkiss. As of last year, they don't take any money, a profit. All the profits goes to charity.
Look
and
at
that's
me.
$550 million. So
Wow,
far.
that's amazing. It's good when you look up at the camera because they want to see your beautiful face. And someone, Rob K., who sends me recipes I'm going to get inspiration from, he said, why don't you take, just have a journal and jot down your children and grandchildren to know and something to pass on. Like when you have a thought, he said, get a journal and write down your most important insights on life. My 95.
Well, it's not easy to do, but a very important thing is learning how to be a good listener.
Yeah.
Most of us are very normal, and we're in a conversation. We're really not concentrating on what the other person is saying. We're thinking already as to what we want to answer.
Yeah.
And so therefore,
That's so true.
It take a little extra time to listen and make sure you want to be a fact checker. You want things to be based on fact.
Yeah.
If it's a feeling, then that it should be that's part of the conversation. But it's a person's feeling, and there's a lot has to do with some of the basics in most religions. The only thing is most of us at a point or two become hypocrites because there's things happen and we want to justify what we did even though that wasn't the right thing.
Wow.
And I think as without repeating the whole thing, and you want to feel good, and there's a Chinese proverb that says, if you want to feel good in life, then do things to help people or animals.
Yeah.
I added the animals.
I like that you added animals.
Yeah.
That feels so good to help animals.
So when you do things that make other people happy or animals that you're treating fairly and not mistreated in laboratories and how some people unfortunately handle their pets in a very, very masculine and very crude way. And sometimes they even act that way with their children and being very strict disciplinarians and use and my family, my father would never hit us. He would threaten us, and we believed them.
Yeah.
And so it so happened that only time I smoked a cigarette was I was about 12. I choked, and I never smoked that, even though I was in the service and away from home. And my father said, we felt he meant it. He said, if I caught you smoking, I'm going to chop off your hands.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's tough stuff because if you...
I want to make sure, and I don't know if we're connected. We're still, okay, we're connected. You can go. Go ahead. Well, do what? That's okay. I just had this image of you. I came home from school one day.
Not until I was older that I can appreciate it. But from day one, even though I was born in 1928.
Hold on. It was loud. You were born in 1928.
And of course, I was in a home that was, close to poverty. We always had plenty to eat. And my mother was a tremendous homemaker, but it was a whole different world, and we lived in a tough neighborhood. I went to a grammar school in Newark. That was.
What was her name? What was her name?
My mother's name.
Mm-hmm.
Helen, Helen.
Helen. And Grandpa Willie.
And my father was William, or some people called him Bill. And he was had a lot of street smarts. He was born in Russia. He born in 1895, came to this country when he was 17 in 1912, and went to live with his sister in the Bronx part of New York. And he at that time, the immigration laws were that they had to be in very good health. At Ellis Island, they checked them out for health, and they had to have a potential of a job, and would not take any government benefits. And he started off. He was working for a company that made fire engines. Little France, I think it was Little France fire engine company, and then from that they started in terms of he should get into business for himself. He had an unusual thing. I was born after they had a bad experience in the city of Catskill. I was told that at that time in the 1920s that the Ku Klux Klan burned a cross on where the lawn of where my parents lived.
Wow.
And that made him determined to leave that part of the world, and came to Newark, New Jersey, and he got involved in running and handling a garage and gas station. And it was hard to, because I would walk past, sometimes we lived nearby where his business was, and I was about 9 or 10, that I would I would pass the garage as I walked to school. And many times when I came from school, I would stop there because my mother was eye on what things were going on, because my father worked many hours, and sometimes he took a nap in the office, and they had cases of oil that had 24 cans and he'd make a stack of 6, 2 and 2, and he'd have a little pillow.
Wow.
On top, and he'd be taking a nap.
Wow.
And my mother would be keeping the eye out in
Oh
terms
my God.
of that, when they pumped gas, that the money was brought into the office to her. And so
Wow.
someone had a flat tire that was fixed.
Hey Herbie, what was the favorite thing your mom used to make for you? Food-wise, food. What did she make that you loved?
It was a real treat. A real treat would be lamb chops.
Mm-hmm.
That was a treat. And she had a special concoction of baked potato and spinach.
Yeah, and sweet potatoes, right? Sweet potato?
Well, the sweet potato, I don't remember my mother making sweet potato, but at that time in the 30s, there was an awful lot of business being done by horse-drawn cars. And in fact, just to give you a reference, that with Kirk Douglas, his first book, he called it the Son of a Rag. Had a horse to earn money for their to make sure they had food to eat.
Wow.
So at that time when I was a child, and I'd say anywhere from 7 to 12 years old, roughly at that time, there would be 2 different horse-drawn cars.
Wow.
that were anxious to see, depending on what time of the year it was. In the summertime, there was horse-drawn carts that were delivering ice.
Wow,
Because
I'm getting
they
my
didn't have-
charger.
They had ice boxes, not they didn't have refrigerators.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm sorry, I have to plug in my, I don't want to run out of battery. Okay, go ahead.
And when they delivered ice, they had big blocks, and they had to chip away with an ice pick to get the squares, whatever they were. So that left on the floor of the cart ice chips, and we used to take turns jumping on the back of the wagon. There was a step.
Yeah.
Where and then to reach over and pick up the ice chips to suck on in the summer, because that was a luxury.
Aw.
And then the other luxury was that you mentioned about a sweet potato, that there was like a furnace, but it was like it'd be at a like someone would have it in their home in the olden days, where you put wood in and keep warm. But this person, he would heat up, and I don't know whether it was butter or whatever he put on it, and then because everything was so precious and costly, they would take the paper bags and somehow cut out holders to have the potato, and for a nickel you can get a sweet potato.
Yeah.
And that was a real treat when I was a child.
And I didn't know the full story. I just know that there was some history with sweet potato and some excitement that you had about it. So almost every meal I've made for you, I included the sweet potato, because I knew, and purple cabbage. You like purple cabbage, like the color. But yeah, the sweet potato brings back a feeling of luxury, right?
Right. I mean, it was, as I say, it goes back to the childhood, and it's. And the thing is, though, only when I got older did I realize we were poor.
Right.
You know, but at the time, as I say, and some of the things, I mean, I mentioned that people wouldn't believe it. My mother, at times, at different times of the year, when she would buy a fish, she would bring it home and put it in water in the bathtub.
Wow.
And then she would slaughter it, and we'd have a fresh fish dinner. And
oh my
also,
gosh, this is making.
In those days, they used to have, when they bought a chicken, they used to burn off the feathers at home.
Oh, really?
And it was a certain odor that you remember it. If I smelled it again, I would know that it was the chicken being burned.
Yeah.
But and then there was quite often when we were young, we would move, and when I got older, I realized why. Because in those days, a lot of people couldn't pay their monthly rent on their home, and in order to attract a better clientele, a lot of people who own 3 or 4 story walk-up apartment buildings or a 3-family house, they would, if you signed a 2-year lease, they'd give you a month free. So you only pay 23 months for 24 months occupancy.
So you would move to get that free month.
Right, so you move to get it free. So as I say, I wasn't aware of it when it was happening. It's only when I got older and found out and heard different stories about, about how people handled at that time the renting of apartments.
Well, you've had quite a life, Herbie. It's been quite a life so far.
Well, I had a lot of things that happened that were very unusual. A change of life. When World War II ended, in 1945, I was 17.
Ah, the volume. Maybe the volume, hold on. I think the volume went down because I plugged in. Is this, hold on. We may have to end this soon because I don't have a lot of battery.
Okay.
They'll tell me if the sound is better now. It maybe is when I plugged in my charger. But we're going to have to tie it up soon. We've been going 45 minutes. But you're going to be able to watch this, and when you watch it, you'll be able to see, because I see the comments coming in, and there's a lot of them. So you'll be able to watch it and read everybody's nice comments to you. I feel like you could really share
Well,
a
I
lot.
won't see it because I don't have no.
Well, when you get to Steven and Tanya's, I'm sure they'll hook you up. I'm sure he has computer. You can see it right away when you get there. This is making me want to make you sweet potatoes so badly. And I just can't believe you're not going to live here, and I'm not going to cry right now.
Well, you know what? You ask Arlene. She makes a heart cake. I think it's a sweet potato, but it's very unusual. It's like has like little sticks across on the top.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And you liked it?
Yeah, very. It makes a nice sound when you. It's like food music, I call it.
Really?
It makes a certain crunch noise that when you eat it.
I'll ask Arlene for the recipe. Aw, Herbie, everybody loves you. I love you. It's so hard to hang up this video, and it's going to be so hard to say goodbye.
Okay, well, I want to get out of it.
Yeah, we're going inside. I'm getting bitten up. We love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, bye. He's out. There he goes. All right, everybody. Oh, okay. That's it. We love you. Good night.